terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through here.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads? Congresswoman, do you have a comment on Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads? You have nothing to say about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads? Do you condone what Hamas has done, chopping off babies' heads, burning children alive, raping women in the street? You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have the Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel? Do Israeli lives not matter to you?
Let's bring in Noah Tishby. She's a former Israeli special envoy for combating anti-Semitism and the delegitimization of Israel. Can you make sense of the squad?
This was a heartbreaking clip. Incredibly courageous on behalf of your reporter. It's a shocking display of how the left is on the wrong side of history on so many topics, and then this one specifically. It's unbelievable that we're having a conversation about whether or not this is brutal or whether or not you should be condemning or condoning these acts. It just honestly breaks my heart. I have been warning against this for a very long time. As you said, I'm the former Israeli special envoy for combating anti-Semitism and delegitimization of Israel. There's a reason that this title was put together, because delegitimizing Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state, dehumanizing, demonizing Israel for as long as we have been, as long as I've been an adult in the past few decades, is what is allowing for this to happen. This is what gave the a power to Hamas to actually do this, and the support in the U.S. and the support in left organizations such as Harvard and such as the Squad for this is something that has been worked on for a very long time, and it's very, to be honest, I'm quite shook by this video.
I'm shocked she just didn't say yes. Of course, I condemn beheading of babies. I don't know why those words were so difficult for a politician to say.
You'd think that that would be a very simple thing to say, but no.
No, I think her silence spoke volumes, and we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much, and keep up the great work, Noah.
Thank you so much.
Just breaking, Hezbollah working with the Mexican cartels. Terrorism is a global threat. That's why an open border is a national security death wish. The U.S.-Mexican border is coming into sharper focus after a new Mideast war has erupted. Let's bring in Bill Malugin with the latest.
Well, Jesse, we've got some brand new internal data leaked to us by CBP sources, which shows thousands of so-called special interest aliens from mostly Middle Eastern countries have been arrested by Border Patrol while trying to cross illegally here at our southern border over the last 2 years. So let's dive right into these numbers because they're fairly startling. Take a look. More than 6,000 people from Afghanistan apprehended by Border Patrol, more than 600 from Iran, 164 from Lebanon, which is home to Hezbollah, more than 500 from Syria, the birthplace of ISIS, and 139 from Yemen, the home of the Houthi rebels. The U.S. government considers these special interest countries places where conditions favor terrorism or where there's a potential national security threat to the United States. And the terror watch list numbers have been shooting through the roof. Take a look at this graphic. Fiscal year 2023, Border Patrol has arrested at least 151 people on the FBI's terror watch list after they've crossed illegally here. That is the highest number number on record. It's also higher than the previous 6 years combined, and that is a huge security concern when you talk about the known gotaways as well. Take a look at these numbers. CBP sources telling Fox News since President Biden first came into office, well over 1.5 million known gotaways have slipped into our country without being arrested or apprehended. Just to put that number in perspective for you, that is a population size bigger than the city of Dallas, Texas, successfully sneaking into our country. And former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott, who served under both President Trump and President Biden, says agents have no idea who these people are when they're encountering them. Take a listen.
Having an open border, allowing anybody to come in, is a national security threat. This administration keeps wanting to talk about we're vetting people coming in. That's just simply not true. We have very little information on the people across this entire globe.
And Border Patrol sources tell us when their agents do encounter these people from these special interest countries, there's little to no way of actually vetting them. I'm told that's because their home countries don't share their records or their databases with the United States. So when the agents down here go to run their names or their fingerprints, there's literally nothing to match it up against. Huge security concern. Jesse, we'll send it back to you.
All right, that's terrifying. And now terror group Hezbollah is reportedly working with the drug cartels to exploit the southern border. Iranian terrorists use money made in the drug trade to help fund their terror campaigns. Now, let's break this down. Former Deputy Assistant to the Secretary of Defense, Amber Smith. So you have tens of thousands of Muslim ghosts. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they came from, but they came from a bad neighborhood with terror problems. What is going to happen now?
So they're not only coming here, they are already here. The United States is the most vulnerable it has been to a terror attack in the last 20 years. We are looking at a significant risk of another 9/11 in our country because of Joe Biden's open border policies. The tactics, the targets may be different, but the threat is there and the threat is real. They're here in our country right now. Those numbers that we just heard from Bill are absolute. They should alarm every single American today. We're seeing these terrorists come across the border from countries like Syria and Afghanistan and Yemen, these failed states that are bringing ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas into our nation. And like President Trump, he had a no travel ban to these nations to prevent terrorists from coming across our border to inflict damage to the American people. And now they have this open highway from our southern border, and sadly, we will feel the effects of it.
We will. And I don't know why Department of Homeland Security isn't saying, hey, Joe, we caught about a dozen guys from Syria. They don't look too friendly. I mean, who knows how many we missed? Maybe we need to do something. I don't know why anybody isn't doing that if they can say they're taking national security seriously. It's ridiculous. And I'm afraid we're going to have blood on our hands because of this stupid policy. Amber, thank you. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Jesse.